Hey y'all, Tiffany here, workflow strategist and system strategist. Sorry. I am talking about workflows today, but thanks so much for tuning in. If it's your first time viewing, drop a number one in the comment box. And if it's not your first time, make sure you still say hey, Tiff, so I can say hey back to you. So you all know that 17 Hats is my favorite CRM of choice. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. It is a business platform to help you better serve your clients and run your business. Your systems work for you. All right. So let's just get right to it. So there are always a lot of questions as it relates to workflows. So your workflow is a set automation or a set list of tasks that are automated for a specific job, okay, or task. So I'm just going to walk you through the automation that I have set up for my clarity call. So I'm showing you my actual dashboard for my workflow. So my clarity calls are the first call that was basically my consultation. And so you will have the opportunity to name your workflow if you need to. You can always edit the name of your workflow by doing so here. Now, your first step, you can see I already have my steps lined up here and I'm going to explain them to you. All right. But you can see with level 3, I highly recommend level 3. I don't care what stage of your business that you are in. 17 Hats does offer levels 1, 2, and 3. Again, I highly recommend level 3 because you just get the full shebang. You get all the bells and whistles. You can really optimize the platform with level 3. If you have level 1 or 2, you will not see this in your account. So when it comes to your workflow, you can add to-do tasks, which are great because sometimes you have to remind yourself of things to do within the workflow. You can set a due date. And if you have more than one person on your team, you can assign that task to a person. I want to keep this workflow very simple walkflow. Sorry, y'all, this is live. I want to keep this walkthrough simple as possible, but I just want to show you that. So I won't go into deep detail about the to-do options. You can have an action, and the actions are a lot. You can send an email, questionnaire, quote, contract, invoice. There are several actions that you can add to the workflow automation, and or you can pause the workflow. So there are times where you would need to pause based on your service and how you have your business systems set up. So allow me to walk you through the workflow for my consultations, which are my clarity calls. So the first thing that a person will do is they will go, let me show you my booking calendar. Right, so here are some of my calendars, and here is my booking calendar here. So when persons select, okay, when persons select a day to talk with me, they will come to my calendar, click on a day of availability, they would select their date, fill in the information, and book. So when that goes through, I get an automatic got a lot on here. I get an automatic email. So do they. They receive a confirmation email. And then here you will see that I have to confirm the booking or reschedule. This is a to do for me. That's what this check stands for here. So this means that this to do action goes on my to do list right here. I have this set up because I want to confirm all appointments. And if I need to reschedule because something happens, that's there. So I set this to be triggered when 1 day after the workflow. So that means that when somebody requests a clarity call with me, within 1 day, I need to go in and approve by confirming or rescheduling. Once I confirm that appointment, the next step in my workflow takes place. There's a clarity call email that goes out. So see where it says send email, clarity call, confirm. That email will then go out to that person. Okay. So I have a lot of emails, as you can see, pre typed to go out, but it's the clarity call confirm email that will go out. When? Immediately. Okay. So the triggers are so important. Next, I have 2 tasks, right? See the check mark? These check marks mean that it's something for me to do. That means that the quote will be sent, and then I will check to see if the deposit was made. Now, I used to have this on automation, but I stopped because I've learned through experience with different clients, I have to customize some packages. So my base price is set, but some clients need more, some clients need less. So I no longer automatically send out questionnaires directly after the call because I don't want to be on a clarity call and I give somebody one price, but then their quote says something different. All right. So I come here. Once I send out that quote, this is telling me that I need to send the quote, I check. Okay. And then immediately after, I check for the deposit. So they have 24 hours to make their deposit. Now, let's just say that prospective client goes cold. They just go ghost. They don't do anything. My workflow within 3 days of the quote going out, my workflow is going to send a post quote follow-up email. And then 9 days later, my system will automatically send another email. Okay. So follow up is so important. It's so important to follow up with your clients, especially if they don't respond after, that quote is being sent out. Most times, if people don't accept the quote right away, they're hesitant, they're not going to move forward, or they don't have the money at the moment, they're busy. There's some reason why. Most people, decision makers, are going to make a decision quickly. Yes, they're going to do business with you. No, they're not. Then those who don't make a decision, you still want to follow up with them. So you see that I have my email scheduled here. So let me just review again. This is 17 Hats CRM. Okay. And if you are a solopreneur, I highly recommend that you use 17 Hats. I can set it up for you. If you got it, do it yourself, whether you use me or not. I highly recommend that you use 17 Hats. All right. So let me just go back and show you again. So here is my booking page. It's fully branded with my company's name, preset based on my availability. There's a brief description of what the clarity call is. We keep it short because people don't really read. So you don't want to confuse people. They have the option to select their time zone, which is very, very important. I will never forget one time I had someone in a different time zone schedule a call with me, and it did not go well because I looked unprofessional. And of course, when someone books with you, they just assume that it's their time zone. So something minor, but it's also major. They select the time that they like to meet with you, complete this form, select book, they get a confirmation email, and so do you. So as soon as that is done, this workflow is triggered. That means this workflow is now in action. So I get an alert where I have to confirm the booking or reschedule. Upon confirming, an email is sent immediately confirming the appointment. It is so important to confirm clients. And now, again, this is a workflow automation. So this is not me manually sending these emails. The workflow does the work for me. Once I have the consultation with the client, This next action in my workflow is a to-do reminder telling me to send the quote. Okay. So I need to send that quote within 1 day after the consultation. Most times the quote is sent automatically because I have a standard quote set. So I just have to sometimes make minor changes. Okay. Once I click that, my system is going to remind me to also check for the deposit because I require a deposit before working on any project, and you should too. All right. So once the deposit is paid, then the workflow it is done. I don't have to do anything else. My system reminds the client of how much money they have left to pay. The invoices are sent out automatically. I don't do any of that. Now, as I said, let's just say the client goes ghost. Okay. My system is going to send that person 2 follow-up emails. The first follow-up email will go out 3 days after the quote was sent, and then the second follow-up email will go out 9 days after. All right. So this is a simple workflow overview that I already have set. I just want you to see it in its in its entirety. This is a simple workflow. Now you can add phases and there's so much more, but this is just a general walkthrough. And if you would like a more detailed walkthrough where I built a workflow from scratch, please let me know in the comments below because I'd be happy to do that. Allow me again to show you the different actions that you can add to your workflow. You can add something to your to-do list. You can add an action or you can pause the workflow. Now, there are different reasons why you would, have a to-do action, add a physical action, something that happened, or why you would pause your workflow. I want to keep this general, but you see that in this current workflow here, I have used the to-do list and the action list. Let me just tell you, I love the to-dos. I won't click on mine here because I don't want to disclose any client information. I'll do that on the edited video, but I enjoy the to-dos because it becomes my actual to-do list. And when I log on to 17 Hats, it reminds me of what I need to do. So I have a physical planner. I'm a planner girl, but for business, I like it on the computer so I don't forget. And these to-do tasks go on my calendar. As I said, they're on the 17 Hats dashboard, which is the first thing you see when you open 17 Hats. And you get alerts and reminders. So no more post-it notes all over your to-dos are aligned and available for you. So I hope this short walkthrough gives you some insight on how important workflows are and why you need them. Because could you imagine, having, schedule a consultation, you've hosted that consultation, now you have to go and prepare your quote, prepare your contract, send it out, wait for a response, send a follow-up email, send a second follow-up email. Could you imagine having to do all of these tasks manually? You're wasting time. That will waste your time. And that's why it's so important to have systems in your business. So I hope this helps. If you would like a more detailed review, please comment below. And if you have any questions about using 17 Hats, please do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please like and share.